All right, welcome back to the channel today. Thank you for joining me again. Today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite precision line of optics out there that has been around for a long time. You may or may not have heard about them, but they have a tried and true proven military track record and civilian record that just can't be beat in a lot of ways. Let's talk about the SWFA Super Snipers. All right, so I've been in the precision shooting game, and I guess you could say an enthusiast, not an expert, but an enthusiast about precision long-range shooting for well over 20 years now. I started getting into it when I was in the military. I was introduced to long-range riflemanship type of shooting in basic training and in my tech school as security forces out on Camp Bullis down in Texas. We started shooting with the M16A2s, and we were shooting long distance riflemen, service rifle type of stuff. It's really just service rifle. But during my time in the military, I started becoming more enthusiastic about long range precision shooting, like with bolt actions and stuff like that. And I really started getting into that world. But back in those days, when you're putting together a long range precision rifle, and this was like the late 90s, early 2000s, optics options were kind of limited. And at the time I couldn't really afford a lot. So I stumbled on this brand called the SWFA Super Sniper line that had actually been under military contract from Crane Division. Originally the contract was a TASCO contract to create a fixed 10 power optic for the military. And they were really simple, really rugged, really high grade. Well, back around 2004, just a little before that, a company called SWFA obtained the right to manufacture and sell these optics with a little bit more of an upgraded ethos internally, or an upgraded quality control internally to what the scope originally had been under the military contract. So this private company down in Texas, Midlothian, Texas, takes over the contract, or takes over the brand identity and the contract and all that stuff, and starts creating the SS line, the Super Sniper line of scopes for sale to the civilian market. Now, these scopes originally had been a fixed 10 power scope, which was kind of the standard in precision sniping and long range shooting at the time for military, police, SWAT, all those kind of things. So naturally, as a fanboy of all things precision shooting and sniping and long range, I wanted to emulate as best or as close to as I could the sniper rifles of the day that were being used by military and law enforcement. So I got a Savage 110 with an HS Precision stock, a Savage Model 10 with an HS Precision stock in 308. It had a big long fluted barrel on it, beautiful piece of machinery with a solid stock, and I wanted a fixed 10 power scope to go on it. At the time, the military was using this, the Marine Corps was using the Unertals at the time, from what I remember, and I could not afford that. It was way too expensive of a scope. So I came across the SWFA Super Sniper line just in my reading and through magazines and stuff like that, and I picked up my first fixed 10 power SWFA SS. Shortly thereafter, I picked up my second 20 power, or my second one, a 20 power fixed Super Sniper from SWFA for a varmint rifle that I'd put together as well. I have had in my safe one of those scopes for 20 years now. Just longevity wise, they have been the most rugged, most simple, and longest lasting scopes I've ever seen. Today, I currently have about 6 of them. It's a given that at any point, at least 2 to 3 of my main go-to rifles are going to be wearing one of these scopes. I've used them in the 6 power, I've used the 12 power, I've used the 10X, and I've used the 20X, and I've also used the 3 to 15 power, all in the SS line. Now, I haven't tried anything in their HD line yet, but I'm going to try to get my hands on one of those for later, a project I have coming up later on in the year. I will say this: for simplicity, for ruggedness, and for an inexpensive scope, less than $400 and less than $300 in some cases, they're very, very hard to beat. All right, so just let's look at the numbers, putting aside my personal biases for inexpensive. I love quality optics. I love spending money on optics, but if I don't have to for every rifle, I won't. And I've found a good balance in quality, consistency, rugged reliability, and longevity in the SWFA lines, both the standard line and the HD line. Now, like I said, I don't have any experience personally with the HD line in ownership. I've seen them, and I've used them and played with them, but I don't own any. Most of mine are all just the standard line, and that's what I've had for over 20 years now, or close to 20 years. I think I got my first one, and it had to have been around 2003, 2004, because I believe that's right when they started launching the SS line, was around 2004. So we're coming up on 19 years. That's huge. I have had to replace one, the SWFA 3 to 15 that I got about 10 years ago. I was a little bit vigorous when I was getting the sunshade on and off over the years, and eventually after about 7 or 8, maybe 9, close to 8 years of use, I undid the front lens cap on accident. So that was my bad, or the front lens wheel, that was my bad. But anyway, let's go real numbers here. Here's the beauty of the line. The SWFA 3 to 15 42 millimeter front focal plane 30 millimeter main tube mil scope, so it's mil reticle, mil turrets, $6.99. For all the quality you're getting in this scope, and that's one I personally have a lot of experience with, a lot of downrange, long range, and rugged use experience with. The quality is unmatched. It really is. These things are rugged, they're simple, they have straight mil turrets, so, and this is a fixed 6 power on this rifle. You have milliradian reticle inside, so you actually can use your milling reticle there. I love the crispness of their milling reticle. The actual shape of the diamonds they use is beautiful. It's my favorite reticle on the planet, no question. The SWFA SS mill reticle is my favorite reticle of any I've ever used. They're simple, they're easy to read, they just work. And you've got mill knobs as well, so your elevation and windage are both going to be in milliradians. And you can offer, they do offer, I think, let me see, mil quad, the mil quad reticle. Okay, so everything's still in the mil quad reticle, yes, and they do offer some of their fixed 10 powers in the MOA reticle as well, so you can get these in both mil and MOA. They offer a fixed 10, which is kind of the baseline of their catalog, is that fixed 10 power. They offer it in MOA, mil, and then they offer it with side focus or rear focus, so you can get it with your rear focal adjustment here, like this, or you can get it with a side focal adjustment, which I don't actually have one of the side focuses right now. All I have is my original one that I bought, which was just a rear focus. That one right there. That's the first one I bought, the first 10, I think. The first 20, the first fixed 20 I bought, my friend still has, actually. He inherited that when he bought a rifle from me, and he uses that to hunt with, so he's still got that thing rocking around. And those are scopes I've had for a long stinking time. And I think that is the, I'd have to look at the serial number, but I think that's the original one, or it might be on a different rifle. Irrelevant. They're also offering several things in their line that they've upgraded or updated recently, like the 2.5 to 10 ultralight. They offer some different types of ballistic plex reticles now, though, so they've really, SWFA has expanded this line from like a fixed 10 power only. That's what they started with, more or less, the original Mil-Spec, but internally updated model that Tasco had come up with under the actual Crane Warfare Division contract. So SWFA took that, upgraded the internals as a fixed 10X, and then put it back on the market, and just I've loved them ever since. They're just as good as a fixed 10X gets. Okay, now we have way more options here. I mean, SWFA has just gone off the charts with this. You can get the 20Xs and all that good stuff. The real beauty here is the price point for the quality. All right, to compare quality and ruggedness, reliability, and you know, they have a warranty and all this stuff. You're on average going to be spending close to $2,000 on scopes in the modern market. Now, there's a lot of manufacturers out there now that are making entry-level, what do we call it, entry-level optics that are more affordable, and you know, offer a lot of the same features. You're looking at first focal plane, you're looking at, you know, side parallax adjustment, you're looking at you know, mil reticles and turrets and you know, crosshairs and stuff like that. All the wonderful things we all love and are standard in a scope now, and we look for in optics, especially in the precision rifle game or the precision shooting game. But SWFA has been doing that for a very long time, close to 20 years now. So bear that in mind. This is a company with a proven track record, a history of making these really high quality optics with all of these great, wonderful features, but they're simple, rugged, and reliable, and affordable still. Now you can get into the HD line. I'm looking at their 5 to 20 HD right now, mil quad 5 to 20 with a 50 millimeter front lens, $12.99. That's not horrible. They've got an illuminated version for $14.99. That's not horrible at all, especially when you look at the upper echelon of most optic company catalogs out there right now. That's kind of their mid-level stuff. Their high-level stuff is $22,000 to $3,000. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a good high-end Collis or something like that type of optics, US optics, Night Force, those kind of things. I love good glass, I really do. But if you're looking for an optic to put on a rifle, say a DMR, or a simple precision rifle, or just a fixed 6-power. I love the fixed 6-power is actually now probably one of my favorite optics from them. 6-power is probably one of the, if you're just looking for simple, if you're looking for simple, versatile, like a hunting optic or a DMR optic or something along those lines that is uncomplicated, the fixed 6-power, which is what I have on this bad boy right here. This is a 6.5 Creedmoor DMR. Just simple, rugged, reliable, uncomplicated, with a great mil reticle on it. You really don't have to get a 20 power, 25 power, 37 power behemoth of an optic on a precision rifle to reach out and touch at longer distances. I've shot 6-power out to 1,100 yards, 1,000 yards, you know, in that range, and made consistent and reliable hits, and with good good feedback and everything, field of view, all that good stuff, and good optical quality. You look at the optical quality of the SWFA line, it is Japanese glass from what I understand, and it is above average. I would say it's above average. You get, with the higher end magnification stuff like the 12s, 20s, and some of the upper ends of the variables like the 15, you get a little bit of aberration around the edge and you get a little bit of fuzz and everything. But overall, the optic quality is phenomenal for what it is and the price point you're getting. Granted, some of the stuff coming down the line from Night Force and companies like that, US Optics using shot glass and stuff like that from Germany or Austria or whatever, it's going to be a little better clarity, light transmissions and stuff like that. But the average user in the average scenario and the average conditions is going to be really hard pressed to notice that. And you're going to save a couple $1,000s doing it. So I would say, if you're looking for a high quality, rugged, simple, with all of the main features you could want in an optic, I would seriously consider looking at the SWFA line of Super Sniper scopes, whether they're regular or they're HD. If you're looking for that for yourself and you're trying to get in a budget rifle, or trying to just keep the cost down on a good precision rifle build, even if it's for hunting or if it's just a DMR or just for fun gun, you know, just for shooting targets or long range, I would seriously consider their line. It's something that I've personally used for close to 20 years now. I've had several of them. I've never had to send one back except for one, and that was kind of my fault because I was a little vigorous with my sunshade and I would take it on and off all the dang time. And I eventually, I think, just loosened up the epoxy on the front of that lens on the 3 to 15 power I had, and I sent it back to them and they were like, okay, cool, gotcha, we'll replace, boom, no big deal. At the time, they didn't have any of the SS 3 to 15s available, and they were back ordered for a while, so they offered me a Burris XTR in replacement for it, and I was pleased with that. I love the Burris XTR line as well, and they sent me that to replace it, and I almost immediately went and bought another 10X and another 6X from them, just because I love their work. I love what they do so much. Or the Super Sniper from SWFA, SWFA.com is the website. Definitely look into it. Personally, I'm putting together a budget precision rifle build this year for PRS, because I'm going to start competing in PRS at the end of the year. I intend to, but I want to keep it as simple as possible right off the bat, because I don't have $8 grand to spend on a setup right now, and I just don't want to spend the money. The scope I'm probably going to go with for that rifle is the SWFA 3 to 15. As soon as I can get my hands on one, if I can squeeze in HD, I might. But on the other hand, I had a lot of luck with the regular model, so I might just go back with that. Thank you for joining me again. I hope this helped out there. If you have any questions, leave them below. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you have any experience with the SWFA Super Sniper line of scopes, definitely share them with me. I'm a believer. After 20 years of using them I'm a believer. Yeah, they got my money as long as they keep making optics. All right, thank you for joining me again. Y'all be good.